Hello, my name is Dr. Doug Bielmeier. I teach the recording courses within the recording minor in the music department here at CAMD. One class in particular I noticed, I began the class and I was speaking for maybe 5 or 10 minutes. I was lecturing on something and I realized everyone had their camera off and everyone was muted. I have a question. How's everyone doing? Everyone has their cameras off and yeah.
I have mine off.
I'm in bed. I'm I haven't really left bed like all day, so not too bad.
Not too bad. Are you sick currently? Are you feeling sick or no?
No, I'm like fine. I'm just there's no reason for me to leave bed. So I'm thinking to myself here, why am I even doing this synchronously? What's the point? If everyone has their camera and microphone muted, why are we all here together? And so I stopped and I said, hey guys, what's going on? You know, folks, why does everyone have their camera off? And with that, all of a sudden, students started turning their cameras on and everyone had located the change your background function.
Yeah, I'm actually at the beach right now, so it's really cool.
Yeah, you are. I noticed that. You also have this weird glow around your head. I don't know what that's
Yeah,
about.
I mean, some people think it's headphones, but I think.
Oh yeah, look at that.
No.
So look at you at the beach with your HD 650s on. Like,
yeah,
wow,
it's a fun
that's
time.
living the lifestyle right there. Well, cool. Great. Oh, Zach's in space now. And now all of a sudden, students were in space. They were located on the beach. And then I went and changed my background. And it was funny because then for the rest of the class, that became a whole part of the class or another thing within the class where people were altering their background based on what we were talking about. People were screen sharing. So when I think about the community and how do we establish it, I think Zoom and any type of software like this, where we have the ability to see and hear one another, I think it also is on us to stop and say, hey, wait, are we actually using this in the most effective way? Are we literally just talking to 15 students on the phone? Because we can do that. You know, we've had that for years. So I think often, you know, my big thing is I need to stop at some point in the class and say, hey, and check in and say, hey, what's going on? Just like any good teacher that's lecturing or teaching in a course would stop, realizing that maybe the half the class is asleep, they would stop and say, hey, everybody, you know, are you understanding what I'm saying? Do you know, can you understand this? So all the rules that still apply to be a good classroom teacher, they all still apply in Zoom. And we just have to remind ourselves sometimes that, hey, wait, you already have all this training. You already have this experience. You just need to sort of move that over to teaching online. We've already been sort of using this experiential learning approach to begin with. The whole policy or the whole mission of the college and of the university is experiential learning. So to have hands-on projects and to have items that are already offline or involve students to interact with them on their own is already something that's a big part of not only the recording curriculum, but a lot of the other courses that we teach at CAMD and within the music department. So really, this transition has been about putting that information online and dealing with sort of the particular issues that come with having a synchronous or an asynchronous class on the web. So in the Recording 1 class, the point of the class is to create some skills within Pro Tools. And we do this by having the students work on independent workstations that have their own audio interface, microphones, and keyboards. We have them work within the context of the Shillman 205 lab. Well, currently, with that lab not being open, the students can still do the same lab-based work, but they have to do it remotely or on their home systems. And this creates a bit of a challenge because students now have to learn how to install the software onto their own computers as well as maintain their own computers, which actually is a super valuable tool for these students moving forward, that after this semester when they finish, they're not just going to know how to use the computers within a lab here at Northeastern. Now that they're working on their computers at home, they have to learn the valuable skills of how to optimize that system and use what they have at home. So for one of the recording groups, we have three students. One located in Hawaii, another one located in Chicago, and the third one is right here in off-campus housing here in Boston. So for the original project, it was the three of them creating the music and engineering, mixing and mastering the final song. So in this scenario, what they've done is the lead vocalist, recording minor student, as well as an engineering student, mechanical engineering student, she's been recording the vocals in Hawaii. She's built her own pop filter. You can see I have a pop filter here for this recording. It deals with the plosives of p and b. So she created one of those on her own with some of the supplies she had around her house, and she recorded the vocals and tracked them there, sent them then to the other student in Chicago. That student added some of the guitar parts and some of the other production that was necessary, and then the whole thing is being mixed and mastered right here by a student right here in Boston. So the idea behind this, and one might say, well, why do the students have to do this? Or wouldn't it be better if they could all be in one place at one time? And the reality of the new industry, it's even as far back as about 10 years ago, the famous song by Katy Perry, Fireworks, that recording was actually originally recorded in Europe. There were a few producers that also worked on it in Sweden, and then the actual vocal recording was done at a studio in LA. So even in that recording, as early as 2008, 2009, when it came out, that recording was already being done remotely. So the idea that students not only have to navigate the ideas of recording and mic placement and mixing and mastering in a traditional setting, they also have to learn to navigate the new norm, which is dealing with recordings that take place in multiple different locations.